Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And it's time for our piping hot, fresh star ratings. Oh my gosh, what does that smell? It's our star ratings, Larson.
I don't know what's hotter, the temperatures outside or these star ratings.
Oh man, these star ratings are piping hot. Unlike those other guys where you're going to have to wait like a whole, like it's going to be the middle of July by the time you get those star ratings.
Truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, truth. Actually, truth.
This is going to be interesting because it was kind of a weird show. The opinions on the show last night are kind of all over the map. Of course, our full podcast length review is available right now at the Steve and Larson WWE podcast channel, youtube.com/Steve and Larson. So I kind of feel like today maybe our Katras won't be terribly aligned.
I don't know, but usually I sit down right after the show is over and I take a moment to ponder, but the matches are fresh in my mind, which is how I want it to be. So when I do my star ratings, bang, I don't have to think about it, rewatch it, just vomit out a bunch of star ratings.
Yeah, it's appropriately visualized there.
They're all, there's not a large window here of the ratings of the individual matches. They all kind of are in a cluster of numbers.
Yeah, mine too. I wonder what that cluster is, though. So go ahead and start. All
right, the first match we're talking about is Men Money in the Bank ladder match. I'll go first. In terms of the execution, really well wrestled. It didn't have the most creative use of ladders or weapons or spots, save for Chad Gable hitting a ladder itself with the German suplex onto Andrade. Yeah. Andrade did the sunset flip powerbomb spot off the ladder. He had done that prior. It's not to diminish how dangerous it is and how cool it looks, but not exactly reinventing the wheel when it comes to spots in a Money in the Bank ladder match. It was a match that really only two people had a real distinct chance of winning. So it diminished the drama somewhat, and I felt like it lacked kind of a through line to connect the match together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The individual spots.
Right.
So I actually gave it the same score I gave to the TNT Championship ladder match at Forbidden Door, because I think there's a lot of similarities in terms of, there's a lot of crazy spots, but maybe not the creativity or cleverness that I would like from ladder matches. I gave it 3 3/4 stars.
Oh, man. Wow. Katras aligned. Copy and paste everything you said. I think you just summed it up pretty well. I felt pretty much the exact same way. We're probably gonna get people in the comments. You do this. I was looking for kind of reasons to give this 4 stars because I think everybody worked really hard.
Yeah.
But I like seeing a ladder be German suplexed. But not a whole lot of drama. Not a whole lot of oh my God moments. Like here and there. Like you said, the Andrade to who did he give that power? But the sunset flip to on the ladder. Whoever that was. It wasn't Finn Balor. That was last time.
That was last time.
It was Carmelo. Not a whole lot of drama in this one. So 3 3/4. But everybody bust their ass, and I appreciate that.
They did, and it was a great performance for especially Chad Gable. And didn't mention this on the review last night, but I want to say it now. Carmelo Hayes was bumping, selling all over the place. Mm-hmm. A really good performance for Carmelo Hayes as well.
It's kind of sad because don't you feel like Carmelo's performance was a bit it was low key, very good, meaning that not a lot of people are talking about it, but he really did bust his ass.
He did. So much of what he did was in service of making the match and other people look better, not so much himself. But
it didn't put the spotlight on him. Yeah.
No.
That's a good point.
And shout out to his Toronto Raptors gear too. Let's talk about the Intercontinental Championship match. I'm curious to hear what you say about this. Sami Zayn defeating Braun Breaker to successfully retain his Intercontinental title. Steve, what'd you give this one?
Same score, 3 3/4.
Interesting.
I thought the meat of the match was really, really good. And I like that they were telling a story like they do always. With Braun seems to be the one guy whose story is always learning from matches and then getting better in matches. And I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
In the end, he got taken down by one Aluva kick. that still sticks in my craw, man. It still kind of sticks with me. The haluva kick, I think. Is it weird? Let me ask you this really quick. This is kind of a tangent. Is it weird that the scrappy underdog has like one of the most protected finishers? Like, shouldn't a scrappy underdog have a variety of stuff that like maybe a couple things he needs to hit a variety of times or a multiple of times? Instead, he's got that one haluva kick, which at this point is kind of like the RKO.
Yeah.
It's not out of nowhere necessarily because it has a very specific setup. Guy has to pull himself up in the corner or find himself in the corner, and then whoop-ah, he eats a foot. One of my main complaints about this match isn't even if you're cool with the finish and you're like, yeah, haluva kick, it almost beat Roman, right? It was when Braun was trying to hit his offense, Sammy would kind of lazily throw up a kick that would like put him down.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, I feel like they really need to lean into Braun's speed is momentum. It's velocity. And with that comes kinetic energy, right? And that kinetic energy should be transferred into the other person, because that's like how physics works.
It is.
And that's the force, right?
It is.
But like that force is immediately countered with a limp dick kick.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, you need a little bit more than that. So, I'm sort of convincing myself to bring this down, but I'm going to keep it as it is, 3 3/4 star, because I thought that the story of the match was really good.
I don't need any convincing to bring it down. I had it lower than 3 3/4 for everything you said. Yeah, the little kick that Sammy kind of just threw out there as prelude to the finish of the match. It didn't do it for me. Maybe it would have been more interesting if the situation was Braun coming in for a spear, and rather than Sammy throwing a foot out there to counter it, what if he like collapsed from all the offense that Braun had given him, and Braun goes flying into the corner, and then Sammy looks and is like, oh, I have an opportunity to haluva kick then. Then I think that really plays into the story of Braun beat the hell out of Sami Zayn, and he just won by the skin of his teeth, Well,
what if it's like, and now we're just booking the match and people are going to be like, you guys aren't wrestling bookers. He learned his lesson down on the floor. Don't spear the steel steps. But when you're in the ring, you're not thinking it's the same location. Nope. You're like, and so he gets leapfrogged again.
Exactly. Something like
sends
that.
him in the corner. Yeah.
Exactly. Something like that.
Because then you're really playing into that story of him like having to figure out what Sami Zayn's game is.
And that's kind of like I didn't necessarily feel like the story was necessarily hammered home with the effectiveness it could have been.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the reason I set on the score of 3 1/4 stars.
Mm-hmm.
It was fine, but I didn't really feel like it advanced much for Sammy per se, and I don't really feel like it advanced much for Braun either.
It advanced Sammy. Now he's like the friggin' Bruno Sammartino of the Intercontinental Champion.
Basically, So let's move on to the World Heavyweight Championship match. Damian Priest successfully retained the title after beating Seth Rollins and eventually Drew McIntyre. Oh wow! I really liked the pace with which this match started. It was a sprint from the opening bell.
Really good.
I appreciated that. There was no feeling out process. There was no rest holds.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that Priest, from the opening bell, was conscientious. Oh, somebody could come down here and interfere or cash in.
Mm-hmm. He's very well aware of his surroundings.
Yes,
unlike the guy who cashed in.
Yeah. I like that. The pinfall botch, those things just happen. It's unfortunate, and it's unfortunate it happened right before such an important part of the match itself, such an important story beat, that it puts such a huge focus on it. I like that Drew tried to cash in, make it a triple threat. We spoke at length about our feelings about how the cash-in failed on our recap. I don't know if I necessarily need to get in that again. I don't know if I was a huge fan of how that all played out in the details. I get that it brings Seth back into the story against Punk. I get all that. Mentioned that during the watch-along. That being said, I feel like there was a more interesting way they could have approached that added wrinkles to the story instead of hammering home the same point over again. I gave it the same as the Intercontinental title match. I gave it 3 1/4 stars.
I gave it 3.5 stars because I think that the bulk of the match again was really, really good. It's just really hard to overlook. Dude, a finish And if you're going to have a major story beat as your finish of the match, you really got to nail it. And maybe, dude, just maybe if the music had hit on cue, because I still think that's what happened.
Yeah,
and
that was a part of it, yeah.
And the ref got distracted and the count was interrupted instead of the bocce thing that we had. Or Priest maybe just, I think Priest probably should just kicked out, to be honest with you. Regardless of what the situation was, it was a really awkward setup to kind of one of the more, I think my main issue with it is I didn't see that happening because it was so obvious and it was so simple. CM Punk attacks Drew McIntyre during the cash-in that he basically already said was going to happen, and Drew did not have, like, come on, this has been such a back and forth. It had been 3 times already. WrestleMania, the number 1 contendership match on Raw, and then at Clash of the Castle. 3 times. And he still doesn't think this guy's going to be here. Like, that should be his number 1 concern. He should be the paranoid guy. And at that point, it sort of takes you out of the realm of, well, that's Drew's thing. No, like, being an idiot is just sort of a thing now. And I don't think that's Drew McIntyre. I don't think that should be the character, that he just doesn't pay attention.
Yeah.
So I gave this match 3.5 stars. I did think that the majority of the match was really, really good. It's just the ending did overshadow the rest of it. So I gave it 3.5.
Let's move on to the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match, won by Tiffany Stratton. Steve, what'd you give this one?
I gave it 4.25 stars. I thought it was an excellent match. I thought it was really, really good. Once again, the Women's Money in the Bank match overshadowed, outperformed, I guess, the Men's Money in the Bank match. Lots of just moments where I was, oh my God, on the, seat of my pants, seat of the whatever.
Edge of your seat.
Edge of the seat of my pants. That's what it is. No, it's not. Thrilling moments. Had no idea who was going to win, even though I predicted it ages ago and then changed my prediction several times. But credit to WWE for throwing a couple different possibilities out there. Mm-hmm. I thought a bunch of people had real standout moments here. This was my match of the night. Yeah, I gave this 4.25.
I'm not too far off. I gave it 4 stars. The match started off a bit rocky. There was a couple spots that didn't land as intended. But after that kind of rocky opening sequence, the match found a really good rhythm. And there was a lot of really good creative spots, a lot of thrilling moments. And what I really appreciated probably the most is there was a through line to it. It was Chelsea's story of wanting to get that briefcase and having to overcome her fear of heights. And once she finally does, what happens? She gets pushed off the ladder through a couple of tables on the floor.
And it goes to show people, never try to overcome your fears.
No, I think that's the lesson to be gleaned from that. I once again, this isn't the first time this has happened where the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match has been booked in a more creative, clever, interesting fashion than the men's match. Same this year. Also, my match of the night, 4 stars.
There you go.
Let's move on to the main event. Got Bad Bloodline. Put up your 1 for the Bloodline, Steve.
Begrudgingly.
Taking on and defeating Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, Randall Keith Orton. Until the ref bump, this was like a pretty standard tag match, and it was fine. Mm-hmm. Once chaos reigned in this match, I thought it picked up significantly. I maybe gave it an extra 1/4 star because of the botched low blow from Tonga Loa. Put your ones up for Tonga Loa's low blows.
I'll put it high for that. I'll put it high for the bot. He's like, so his head is right here. So am I supposed to get his butthole? He had to do it again.
And then punch his brother in the head, basically. I thought in terms of making Bad Bloodline a force to be reckoned with, and this is even before they get Hikuleu, this match was effective. A great performance for Jacob Fatu in his first WWE bout. I thought there was a lot to like here. I gave it 3 3/4 stars. This match was pretty fun, especially the latter half.
I gave it a solid 4 stars because I was it a standard 6-man leading into it? I thought it was a bit better than that. I thought it was pretty fun. I thought Jacob Fatu's opening seconds in his first WWE match, I thought were incredibly memorable. Mm-hmm. And I love that they're paying that close attention to the idea of legacy now, not the Randy Orton stable, but the idea that, hey, we're bringing in this high-profile guy, much like John Cena's first minutes in a WWE on WWE main roster. They're incredibly memorable. You can go back and watch them. You can go back and watch Jacob Fatu's first 30 seconds in a WWE match and see something memorable. I really love that.
Yeah.
And he was absolutely a standout. People got to see what a lot of us diehard MLW fans have known for a long time. Jacob Fatu is real. And sorry. And yeah, no, I thought it was actually a pretty terrific match. And then the chaos in the end, the double low blow, first to the butthole, then to the balls and Tama Tonga's head. I thought all. And then, of course, Bloodline. They get the win. We got that classic Bloodline ref bump. This one was so slow motion. There was nothing. It didn't look. There is nothing like accidental about this. Solo saw the ref. He went in and gave him a full on Steiner line, and boom, he's down. Got our ref bump.
Yep.
I love this match. I thought it was a lot of fun. I give it 4 stars.
It was a lot of fun. 3 3/4.
There you go. All right. Well, hey, listen, man.
What?
We might be chipping away at the heels of those other guys, but we want to know what you guys think. Let us know your star ratings in the comments below. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out with us. We appreciate it. Till next time, we'll see you around.
Goodbye.